Hello everyone. Welcome to Chapter 2, Solving Equations. So here's one of the first ones we should do. Notes on Chapter 2, Facebook Don't Call Me After Midnight. So this is a mnemonic device. Yep, I even misspelled it wrong. That's alright. There should be an N right here, not an M. So let's put N. So a mnemonic device is a technique that helps you remember stuff. So, in order to solve equations, you're going to need to do the following. Now, sometimes you might need to go back and repeat some steps, but these are, let's count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 steps when you're solving an equation. And if, for some reason, you might need to go back and do step 1 again, go ahead and do it. It's all right. But for the most part, if you're following this guideline, you'll be able to solve equations like that. So this right here is a mnemonic device. Facebook is Fraction Blast. If you see some fractions that are outside, or decimals that are outside the parentheses, or other groupings like brackets, then you're going to multiply by that least common denominator, or actually least common multiple of the denominators. After that, to get rid of the parentheses or the groupings, you're going to use the distribution method. I like using multigrids myself, but that's about it. Next, combine like terms if they're on the same side. Finally, move the smallest variable to the other side. So if you have negative 4x plus 6 is equal to negative 10x, move that negative 10x to the other side by adding 10x to both sides. After that, add or subtract the constant term. And finally, midnight, multiply or divide the coefficient. Well, let's show you an example of this. So, example, 3/4 times the quantity, 2x plus 4, is equal to 1/8 x minus 5. So the largest looking denominator is that 8 right there, over 8 right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply by 8 on both sides. So if I multiply by 8 on both sides, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this. I'm going to multiply by 8 on both sides. Now what I'm going to see right here is I'm going to see that this is 8 over 1. I can cancel this and becomes 2 over 1, and 2 times 3 is 6. So on the left side, I get 6 times the quantity, 2x plus 4, is equal to 8 times 1/8, or 8 divided by 8 is 1, and 1x is just x, and 8 times 5 is 40. So this is going to be minus 40. Now there's no more fractions to blast, so we're done. Now if I had multiplied by 4 instead, I would have had a fraction on the right side still. That 1/8 would have been like 1/2, and then I would just multiply by 2 to get rid of that one. All right, so next up. So the next one is distribute. So I'm going to get rid of all the groupings. Get rid of all of the any groups, any parentheses, or any brackets. So I can do it one of two ways. I can either use the distributive property to go 6 times 2x and then 6 times 4. And that's going to be equal to x minus 40. Now I do a quick check. Have I gotten rid of all the fractions? Yes. Have I gotten rid of all the groupings? All right. There isn't any parentheses or brackets, so let's go on. Combine like terms. Now this only works if you have like x's with x's on the same side. Looking at this, I have 12x plus 24 is equal to x minus 40. There's no x's on the same side, and there's no numbers on the same side. So we're going to leave it, so non-applicable. So if you're ever filling out a paper application and it doesn't work for you, you just put NA. Like, hey, I don't have a home phone number. I have a cell phone. So you could put NA to fill that in. So I'll put NA right here. Well, I'll put 12x plus 24 is equal to x minus 40 because, Just carry it down. Okay, move the smallest variable. Okay, which one's smaller? Which is smaller, 12 bananas or 1 banana? Okay, well, 1 banana. How do we get rid of plus a banana? Or how do we get rid of plus x? We're going to subtract by x on both sides. Alright, so if we subtract by x on both sides, we'll get 11x plus 24 is equal to negative 40. Done. Alright, all the variables are on one side, so we're done with this step. Next up, Facebook, don't call me after. So add or subtract the constant term. So if we look at this, 11x plus 24, that plus 24 is the constant term. Now, how do we get rid of that constant term? Well, we should subtract by 24 because the opposite operation of plus 24, whoop, that should be minus 40 right here. Hey, this is 40, not 24. It's going to be minus 24. Always check your work. Sometimes you'll notice that there's an error because you're trying to think of 3 things at once. Let's go on. So the last thing we have, this cancels out. I get 11x plus 0, so leave it alone. And then negative 40 and negative 24 would be negative 64. So this last part right here, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to divide, because that's times 11. We're going to divide by 11, so it kind of look like this. Or we can multiply by the reciprocal, times 1 over 11, which is the same thing. So if we times 1 over 11 on this side, we get x is equal to negative 64 over 11. Now, I'd be fine with just leaving it like that, but if you really need to, heck, we could make it 555, and then it's like 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 over 11, so this would be negative 5. But you could leave it as an improper fraction. That's okay. And what you'll notice now is, hey look, that's it. Alright guys, you guys have a wonderful day and I'll see you in class.